a bit of bad news. Nothing that can't be messed with, although probably not re-engineered. Bit of spare mix there that I put a bit of mesh into. That'll end up being part of the lid to cover over the top of the part that holds all the sand. This, however, I was not very happy. There's your bit of wire. You know what this is? This is your corner piece. And I think this is the first bit of firebrick that I made up. And well, she's turned out like fucking wheat bix. Now, I'm fairly certain it's had 3 days to dry. Yes, it was sort of, you know, in a corner and had a bit of plastic on it. Didn't not have a chance to dry. It had plenty of chance to dry. The fact is that the slower concrete dries, the stronger it is. This is why you may see them put burlap on, like Hessian, on concrete slabs and then spray the whole lot with a hose, especially in warmer areas, or warmer times of the year rather, within, you know, the day after it's been poured. So drying slow isn't a problem. And that archway that goes around the door, that turned out actually really good, except the lower parts of the arch, like your arches there. Now, I had some voids appear in these lower parts. I was going to do it in 2 pieces. I said, no, we're not. We're going to pour the whole lot in one day. I couldn't really get in to compact this part, so I was poking a stick down there. And, of course, it didn't quite compact very well, so I got a little bit of voids there. But it's still reasonably strong. That was poured a day after this. And the top here, which I did get to compact because I got a trowel directly on there and I could get my hands right in there, that come out beautifully hard. As of right now, it's beautifully hard. As of right now, it's probably 4 times the strength of this bloody thing. Even though this is poured a day before. There's a chance I might not have had enough cement in this. This should function. I bloody hope it's going to function. Maybe I need to get out the refractory mortar and patch up some of the voids that are here. What I really feel is that I have some terrible voids here, and this corner just broke off altogether. I probably need to get the last remains of the perlite, which is not the vermiculite that this is made out of, but that white stuff instead of the vermiculite. I'm not saying that's hugely strong, but it's bloody stronger than this. And instead of making a perlite and cement mix up with no sand in it, what I might do is get out the refractory mortar, of which I only used about 1/8 of what I'd bought. You can never tell. And make up a perlite and refractory mortar mix to try and repair this corner and fill the voids in and stuff. This refractory mortar is really strange. I mean, it's really different. It's not like any mortar you're used to. This has got the consistency of like blasted wet cornflakes and polystyrene balls. Normal mortar is the consistency of wet sand. Refractory mortar really honestly looks like you've got straight cement powder and mixed it with water, where it comes out with that real clay, muddy type thing, and it's as dark, like really deep grey. It really looks like it. It's got a high percentage of fly ash and something or other illuminate and a few other bits and pieces. So I think, because this is going to be in a very hot place, I think I'll get the two and mix them together and whack it in. And I'll tell you something else too, that refractory mortar sets as hard as hell, and it's as strong as hell for what it is, even though it's high priced, which is probably part of the reason why it's as strong as hell, because it had to do something for the price it is. Anyway, I'm a little bit disappointed, but we will work on this piece of shit and we'll get something to work. I do still want to have the ability to lift it out and take it out. I had to go and whack a trowel down each side to be able to lift this up. And yeah, I could tell at that point it was sort of fairly soft. And it all is. All this stuff is. I've had problems with other parts that are getting voids. And it's just a trouble with packing it down, because it's one of these things, you put it in and it's as loose and fluffy as bloody polystyrene. You have to squash the bastard and squash it properly to get a good finish. Otherwise, it's so soft and so thin and so expanded that it just crumbles away in your hands like bloody wheat bix. It's just fucking crap. So you really need to compact it, and compact it hard. And it really will press down like polystyrene balls too. It's the strangest consistency. It really is an arsehole consistency. It's a mongrel to work with. And to boot, it's as weak as piss. But that's a lot to do with how much you compact it. And it may be that this is the first mix I made and I just didn't have enough cement in it. And I also, didn't quite realise that you got to compact it, and it took another day before I realised that you really got to press it in hard. And I might have been a bit worried about the formwork flexing because it was really not held by much at all. So anyway, live and learn. I'm doing this shit. I'm making these mistakes so you don't have to.